I don't think there's a stronger competition between two mice than there is between the Razer Viper Ultimate and the Logitech G Pro X Superlight, the two companies' flagship mice. And let me tell you, this was the hardest choice I've had to make since I started doing tech reviews. These two mice are stellar, but I'm promising no draw. I have to pick which one I like the best and which is staying on my desk as my main mouse. So let's get into this battle. I always like to start these reviews and comparisons with the box. What comes in the box? How does the box look? And how is it presented to you? The Logitech mouse has a very understated box, but it also feels very special when you get it. Like you got something really premium, something really high end, you know what I mean? And honestly, the unboxing experience is a little bit different than what you normally would get inside of a box. You get the mouse, the dongle, you get a dongle extender to which attaches to the wire that's micro USB that comes with it, and you can extend the dongle up to your desk like I do, so there is no interference between your mouse and the dongle. Micro USB on both mice, to which in my opinion kind of sucks, but at the same time it's not that big of a deal. They both come with really good micro USB wires, to be honest. So the Logitech mouse comes with grip tape inside the box. I personally used it, and a PTFE puck to swap out on the bottom, because there's just a regular plastic puck and then there's a PTFE puck, so you can make the feet area much larger. And I personally use it. I like having more footing. The more footing, the better glide, in my opinion. Maybe it's all in my head. And then the most important things that could possibly come in the box: the instructions and those stickers. You know we gotta have those stickers, bro. Come on, you gotta have the stickers. And the Razer Viper Ultimate, now their box, the complete opposite of understated. It is in your face loud, but at the same time, when you look at the box, you know it's Razer. There's no mistaking that it's Razer. They definitely have their own style of box, if you know what I mean. Like their branding is very recognizable, that bright green. And inside is a much more laid back unboxing experience. You get the mouse, the dongle, and you also get another extender for your dongle, to which I like this extender because it has rubber footing on the bottom, so it kind of stays in place on your desk. Does it work well? It kind of flops around. The idea was good, execution wasn't so good. Also comes with a very lightweight micro USB wire that reaches all the way to the desk. And again, the instructions and tons of stickers, man. They really went to town with these stickers, man. Even these pointless RGB chroma stickers that absolutely nobody would use. Design, these mice couldn't be more different. The design of the G Pro is very basic and understated, to which is fine. Function is more important than form. Weight and shape was the utmost importance, and I respect that. The mouse weighs literally a staggering 60 grams with no holes, to which still impresses me. Even after having it for a while, I still look at it and I feel it and I'm like, what magic did they do to do this to this mouse? I originally thought that the mouse was bigger. I mentioned that in my review. You can check out my review up here. The size is honestly perfect. It's not too big, it's not too small. You'll see the measurements up on screen right now. It's a symmetrical yet ergonomic style shape, where the original G Pro had buttons on the other side, so technically it's supposed to be an ambidextrous shape, but for the Superlight they removed those buttons, and now there's only 5 buttons on the mouse, and it's missing a DPI switch, to which bums me out, but I get it. Save weight. Nice accents with a silver G, nice little white on the scroll wheel, nice rubber texture going on in the scroll wheel, and the whole mouse has like a smooth plasticky feel, not in a bad way. It's a very premium feeling plastic. It's very smooth, and in a way it kind of is a problem. That's why I use the grip tape on the sides. The bottom, like I said earlier, the bottom is customizable. I'm gonna be upfront and totally honest with you guys. I prefer the design and the look of the Razer Viper Ultimate, not the shape. Now, if we're talking just aesthetics and the way a mouse looks and the material that it's using, I personally like the design better of the Razer. It looks cooler. The plastic feels nicer. The rubber on each side is nicer. I mean, the Razer is packing way more on the mouse, and in my opinion, it's even more impressive how it only weighs 74 grams, 14 grams more than the G Pro X. Now, let's be real. Yes, you can feel that. It's pretty much the same size of the Logitech G Pro, except it's a little bit shorter Z height, but I'm showing the measurements on the screen right now. Forward, back is kind of the same size. And as Razer puts it, it's a true ambidextrous shape. I don't know what that true part's supposed to mean. This mouse, however, has side buttons on both sides. You left-handed people are not left out, whereas the G Pro, left-handed people are left out, which sucks because you guys are missing out on something amazing here. There's a total of 9, let me say that again, a total of 9 buttons on the Viper. Guess what, guys? A DPI switch. I can't tell you how important it is to have a DPI switch on your mouse. Say you have two settings you like to use on your Windows dashboard, or scrolling the web, stuff like that. You like to have 800 DPI, but when you're playing video games, you like to have 1000 DPI. See, for me, I like to play games at 800 DPI, but I like to use the web and everything like that at 1000 DPI. So every time I want to switch the DPI, I had to go into the settings and change it. So what I've done is I just left it at 1000 DPI. Whereas the Viper, I can switch it on the fly. I really appreciate that stuff. One complaint though I do have is I wish this did have customizability when it came to the PTFE feet, because there's not much there. There's not much footing, and it scrapes and drags on your mouse pad when you're moving it. Is it detrimental to usage? No. It's distracting. It is distracting. I use the Razer Strider mouse pad, which is a rougher material, and which, if you were using a regular mouse pad, this wouldn't be a problem, but seeing I have a hybrid mat, you feel the scraping a lot. One thing that I love about the Razer Viper Ultimate is those rubber sidings. Build quality, these both are built to perfection. They're built amazingly. There's no creaking, no squeaking. They feel sturdy. I squeezed both of them really hard. The Logitech G Pro plastic feels premium, but I honestly think that the Razer Viper's plastic actually feels nicer to touch. It's got like a rough texture, it's kind of grippy, and it feels a bit thicker, and I just like the feel of the Razer's plastic better. Not that the Logitech isn't built well, I'm just not a fan of the smooth plastic on the G Pro. One thing I am very picky about, that is scroll wheels, and it was so hard to decide between the two of these because I love the scroll wheel on the Logitech G Pro, but I also love the scroll wheel on the Viper. But I have to give it to the G Pro because it has both smooth and tactile feel. It's not too rough when you're scrolling it, but it also got that tactile bump to it. I feel like the scroll wheel on the Viper is just a slight bit more rough when you're scrolling it, but I like that tactility that it has. But I just like how you get the best of both worlds over here with the Logitech. You get smooth and tactile. The left and right click on the Viper feel and sound better. They got a thicker click to them. I feel like the Logitech are very light and crispy sounding, where the Viper sounds more chunky. And I personally just like the feel of the Razer when it comes to the left and right click, but I also have no complaints when it comes to the Logitech G Pro. The side buttons are where the Viper just hands down smokes the Logitech. I think that the buttons are better feeling and a little bit bigger. If you've seen my review of the Logitech G Pro, I don't like these side buttons. They're mushy, and I wish they were a little bit bigger, but however, the side buttons on the Viper aren't any bigger, but they feel like they're in a better place. They feel better to press, and they feel nice and clicky when you click them. I personally like the Viper's buttons better than the side buttons on the G Pro. And if you're a lefty, you get side buttons as well, like we said earlier. I tolerate the G Pro, but I prefer the Viper. I would prefer, if you like this video, to definitely slap a like on it. It does help out a ton, pushes out to new people, and I just personally appreciate it. And if you like content like this, I do a lot of reviews and comparisons, and if that interests you, definitely subscribe. Affiliate links to both mice will be down below. They are not sponsored, but if you do use that link, I do get a small commission. Now let's get the nerdy stuff out as quickly as possible. The Razer has Razer Hyperspeed Wireless, and the Logitech has what they call the Logitech Lightspeed Tech, both extremely reliable. I have yet to have a single connection error, dropout, nothing. I've had no issues with either wireless technology, so they're both super reliable. The Razer has Razer's Chroma RGB. The Logitech G Pro has no RGB, so if that's something you care about, if you care about customizing your setup with RGB, you will definitely prefer the Razer. The Razer comes in 4 colorways that I'm going to show on screen, and the Logitech comes in 2 colorways, white and black. They both tout over 70 hours worth of battery life, but I'm pretty sure that 70 hours is if the RGB is off. It's not stated on their website. I have yet to have to plug either one of these in. They both have software support. Razer has Synapse. Logitech has their G Hub. The Razer Viper has a max of 20,000 DPI, whereas the Logitech G Pro has a 25,600 DPI. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but nobody's using more than 2,000 DPI on their mice. Now, I've heard that the higher the DPI, the more sensitive the sensor and the more accurate the sensor is. I don't know how much truth there is to that. Might have to do more research on it, but let's be real, 20,000 to 25,000. Not a big deal. Trust me. I don't know what Razer calls their wireless technology. Logitech calls it their PowerPlay wireless charging. The Razer has 8 programmable buttons. Logitech has 5 programmable buttons. The Razer has optical switches that are rated at 70 million clicks, and Logitech does not specify their switches. Here's where things get interesting. There's things I love about both. When it comes to comfort and performance, I like how the Razer comes with nice feeling rubber grip materials on the sides. However, the G Pro came with grip tape, and that essentially solved the slippery problem of the G Pro, and I personally prefer the shape of the G Pro. I like the Z height more, where I feel the Viper is a little slender. I like the side shape of the Viper and the easy to reach side buttons, but for long sessions, I just rather hold the G Pro, but it's such a close match. If I only had the Viper, I'd be extremely satisfied. And honestly, I like the Viper more than the G Pro in most aspects, but I just prefer the shape and weight of the G Pro. And for those 2 reasons, I'm going to keep the G Pro on my desk and use the Viper as my laptop mouse and for gaming in bed, because I don't want to stop using it. But if you already have the Viper, just know you have a class-leading, amazing mouse in your hands. And if you're torn, just ask yourself, do you need features or shape and weight? And for me, guys, I chose shape and weight. If I were to pick in any other category, I would pick the Razer, hands down. The buttons feel better, the grip on the side feels nicer, the side shapes feels better, but I just prefer the G Pro when it comes to weight and shape, and that's the only reason I'm keeping it on my desk. That might sound shallow. For long sessions, it just feels nicer and more comfortable. It has a more ergonomic feel to it. Affiliate links down below if you're interested in either mouse. Just know they're not cheap. They're both very expensive mice, and they're worth every freaking penny. So that's it for me, guys. Have a good one. Peace.